What do I mean by work-based learning? I gave you, I think, a pretty concrete example in Palmdale. But in a really well-designed multiple pathway program of study, students start in their freshman year with opportunities to mentor or do job shadowing. And as they progress through 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, the opportunities become more challenging and more intense, so that by their senior year, as was the case in Palmdale, they have an opportunity to participate in really intensive clinical internships. Maybe they're involved in school-based enterprise, a very interesting school just west of Santa Rosa High School, where students have, and don't ask me how they do this, they have a winemaking operation. Okay, in collaboration with Kendall Jackson. Kendall Jackson is the winery, right? You know, maybe not all of you know about Kendall Jackson. They grow the grapes right outside the school. They grow the grapes. They harvest the grapes. They make the wine. I don't know if they get to stomp on the grapes or not, but they make the wine. They bottle it, and they market it. And I was at a workshop in Sonoma County, again, a county office function, and again, I'm not quite sure how, at dinner that night they were serving wine, and they apologized that it wasn't wine from the school because the school from wine is too expensive. I mean, these kids are developing a premium wine for Kendall Jackson. And they're involved in all aspects of it. The growing, the manufacturing, the marketing, the selling, it is their school-based enterprise. And in this particular case, it's part of a more comprehensive program in agriculture and natural resources. One example. Another example, student organizations. Those of you, how many are familiar with the Distributive Education Clubs of America? A couple. Health Occupation Students Association, HOSA. Future Farmers of America, you all know that one, right? Now, and probably your image of FFA, well, I won't stereotype anybody. I had the opportunity to go to the State Leadership Conference here in California of FFA in Fresno. 4,000 students in Fresno. Jennifer went with me. That's about 2 years ago we were there. 4,000 students in Sacramento. Now, granted, this is the leadership of FFA throughout the state of California. What those students accomplish in the 2 or 3 days of really organizing and running this meeting in Fresno is quite extraordinary. If you ever get an opportunity to go to the annual State Leadership Conference of FFA, go. It will change your understanding and impression of the value of these kinds of student organizations. Again, not only engaging kids. What was so fascinating about that, for example, they had a demonstration of student science projects. I mean, really sophisticated, highly technical and academic work on display that these students had done. It really is quite extraordinary. Acme Animation. Anybody know about Acme Animation? Your assignment when you go home tonight is to go to edutopia.org, E-D-U-T-O-P-I-A, edutopia.org, and do a search for Acme Animation. There's about a 6-minute video. Acme Animation works with high school teachers and students who are involved in animation classes as part of an arts, media, and entertainment program of study. And it connects students to mentors, to professionals in the industry. Animators at Lucasfilms, at Pixar, at Walt Disney, at Warner Brothers. And what those professionals do is critique student work to an industry standard. So students are doing a number of projects in animation in their classroom, and periodically then they share their work with professionals at Disney or Warner Brothers or wherever. This is done online, either through video conferencing using some of the technology that you see around here, or on the web. And if you go look at that video, you can actually see it in action. And those pros are working electronically, virtually, with those students to critique their work. Now, it's one thing, some of you I'm sure either are or have been teachers, it's one thing when a classroom teacher tells you, hey, you know, it's not good enough. But when it's a designer at Lucasfilms who's telling you that doesn't cut it, you pay attention in a very different kind of way. And even more importantly, when that professional can tell you how to make it better, you listen and you do it. So go take a look at that video. But that's what we mean by work-based learning. Again, it's not work experience. It's that kind of really sophisticated, in most cases, structured learning. What Acme Animation does is structure that interaction between the students and the classroom teacher and the professionals in the field. Not easy to do, I won't kid you about that, but when it's done well, it is extraordinarily powerful.